Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Look at my wild and crazy hair. I just took a shower. It's like still damp, but it smells good. I took a shower, I took a nap, and then I took a shower, and I used like all my Lush products, and that's how it was in high school, hanging over to the side. And then I lotioned up with that Hemp's green tea and pear. I think it's green tea and pear or green tea and something lotion. And then I sprayed on some Jo Malone, so I'm smelling fresh and clean. I love that Jo Malone 154. It's like one of my favorite colognes of life. Here is my lip gloss, which I will need in just a second. Where is my lip balm? The vanilla one. How are you guys doing this evening for Fountain Pops from the Driveway? Day 492. It feels like. Oh, you know what? I think I'm just going to use this Laneige tonight. Because it's kind of like, the Laneige is kind of a fresh lip balm. Clean and fresh. Don't call me fresh. Oh, man. Boredom and cabin fever is really, really setting in. Like hardcore. And I really like think this is just the beginning of it. So let's have our Diet Coke for the evening. Do any of you like wait until you watch my vlog to have a Diet Coke? Or any kind of like a Coke or anything? Do you do that? I'm trying to think of what I did today. Well, I slept in super late. I stayed up till like 6:30, and then I had a hard time falling asleep last night, even though I had a cup of my new kind of like regiment is that before I go to bed, like I turn off the TV, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. I do my prayers and my meditations, and then I make a cup of sleepy time tea. And do I have my lights on? No. And then I put honey in it, and I have I think it's coconut milk, and I mix it up, and then I sit on the front porch, and I just am kind of conscious with the world, and just kind of go throughout my day and just think about things and kind of like do like a gratitude list in my head. But it's really, really peaceful because it's still dark at that time, and the sun is like just starting to come up, and so like I just sit there and I like listen to all the birds chirping, you know, because there's like all these baby birds that have just been born. So it's like a really, really peaceful time in the morning for me. I'm sure everybody's like, yeah, we get up at that time. But like, you know, I've never been on that schedule anyway. So it's a really peaceful way for me to kind of like get centered and then go to sleep. I don't know why I had a hard time falling asleep last night. I just did. And I think like I've been eating before I like, while I'm watching TV, before I go to bed at night. And so then my stomach is really, really full. And I've been eating those peanut butter and pretzel things. I love those so much. And I have like this huge jar of it that I got from Costco. And so I've been eating those. And if you've ever had them before, they're like really full in your stomach. So I just like, I go to bed and I just feel so full. And I have a hard time falling asleep when I'm like uncomfortably full. So that might be it. I don't know. But so I got up real late today, and Alex was up and he was making like brunch, breakfast, lunch. He was doing like his toast again. And then, what else did I do? Oh, and then I got the vlog up. And you know, I have to just say, like today, I'm really, really, really into The Handmaid's Tale. And I've been listening to it a lot. And so I just kind of like sat outside a lot. I like walked up and down like right here just a little bit, listening to it, kind of like just like in a circle. And, like, while I was doing stuff cleaning up around the house, I, like, listened to it. I'm, like, really into The Handmaid's Tale right now. And so, I listened to that. I just didn't feel, I don't know what it was. Like, I wasn't sad. I wasn't down. I just was kind of like, I'm really, really, really feeling cabin fever. Like, and I'm not feeling super motivated to do anything today. Not only that, but I had purchased this graphic novel. Well, I purchased these, what I thought was 2 graphic novels on Amazon, and one came, and because I like wanted to sit outside and read a little bit today, and one of them came and it's not a graphic novel, and which is fine, but I wouldn't have probably picked it had it not been a graphic novel. It's like this adventure story on this island. So anyway, and then the other one I bought, like, I didn't know that it had been this, like, famous novel first. It's like City of Embers or something. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? The graphic novel looks really cool, but I kind of like to read the book. And it's like a short book. I kind of like to read the book if the book is really that famous. It's like a middle grade or young adult book about these kids that, like, find the secret to, like, saving the city. So, and the graphic novel looks really, really cool as well. So do you guys know what graphic novels are? So graphic novels are like, you guys are like, most of you are like, yes, we know what graphic novels are. Graphic novels are like comic books, but like kind of nicer usually. Not nicer like in the quality of the art or anything like that. But like nicer as far as, like, that's Alex. He said he needs something, so I'm gonna have to, like, he was like, can you come in for a second? So I'm gonna have to run in just a second. But, like, you know, comic books are, like, flimsier and whatever. These are, like, more, like, usually, like, books, like, when you are reading them. And I have, like, The Diary of Anne Frank. I have Clue. I have To Kill a Mockingbird. I have A Wrinkle in Time. I have Anne of Green Gables. Now The City of Embers. And I'm trying to collect some, like, books that are, like, famous books in graphic novel form, which if you get on, oh, I have Clue, too, did I say that? Which if you get on, what do you call it? Amazon, they have tons of them on Amazon. They have like tons and tons of books that have been turned into graphic novels, which I think is really, really cool. So anyway, I've just been really wanting to read some graphic novels. And I actually have a friend of mine, and he collects comics. He collects comic books, you know, like Marvel comic books. And he is so into comic books. And so I was like, well, I don't know that I would really be into that. Oh, I also have the Walking Dead ones. I have like the first 3 or 4 graphic novels, which are supposed to be really good, and they kind of follow the storyline. And so I was asking him one day, like a long time ago, I was like, which one would you recommend? And so he recommended Clue to me. He's like, I don't really read graphic novels, I read comics. He was like, but I would recommend, what do you call it? His like dream is to open a comic book store. Is that not so cool? So, and he has like collector's editions and all kinds of stuff. But he also has the coolest collection of Air Force Ones, Nike Air Force Ones. So he recommended Clue to me and this other one that's more of like an adult one. And I got like halfway through that. It's not like adult, like not like not like, you know, XXX or anything like that. It's just more adult themed. I can't remember what it is. Oh, hold on a second, I'll be back in just a second. Okay, I'm back. He just wanted to show me that he was moving some things around in the refrigerator in the pantry so that I would know where my cheese, my little Baby Bell, is that how you pronounce them? Those little Baby Bell cheeses were. And then he was putting like my peanut pretzel. I was like, don't throw those out. No, he was putting them in a different part of the pantry, so he just wanted to let me know where they were at, because he's kind of like moving things around. So we have enough space in there and things like that. Anyway, and then he's gonna go to bed. So yeah, so what was I talking about? I was kind of talking about what I was doing today. I was talking about, oh, I was talking about the graphic novels. Yeah, and my friend that recommended these. So he recommended some things to me. But anyway, so I get on there every once in a while, like on the Amazon, and I'll just like look at graphic novels. I don't necessarily love graphic novels. But when I read Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Rowell, which is, it is like a Halloween graphic novel. It was really, really good, and I loved it. And so I thought, you know what? I think I'm going to start reading some more graphic novels. There's like whole series of graphic novels. And then I also, like a couple years ago, I bought book 1. I always mispronounce this. I don't know if it's manga or manga. Can somebody put it in the comment section below? Because I feel like for every person that tells me it's manga, I have another person that tells me it's manga. So anyway, it's like the Japanese animation books, you know? Oh my God, they're so beautiful. But there's a series called Orange, and it's 3 books in the series. And I bought the first one, and I have it. And, like, I probably got like 30 or 40 pages into it, and then I just kind of stopped reading it. So I was gonna, read some of my graphic novels today, but then, like, once I started looking at the book, and it said it's adapted from, like, the original, I was like, I don't know that I really want to read that. And then I was gonna read Clue, but Clue's been sitting there forever, and I haven't read it. And then, this other book that I bought from Half Price Books, like, weeks ago. Well, it was the last time that I went to Half Price Books. I think I vlogged it even, and I said, like, I haven't been here forever, or I don't know. Maybe I did it in a booktube video. I can't remember. But I went in and I bought, like, I saw my friend there, and she gave me a coupon that she had. And so I was like, well, I better buy something. And I don't remember what the other book was that I bought. I bought, like, 2 books. But one of the books was this book called... Do you know, like, okay, do you know those books? The original, the very first one was called, shoot. Why can't I think of what it's called? About the girl that becomes a drug addict, and then they find the diary, and it's supposedly real. So, is it Alice? Go Find Alice or something. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Teen books. They're always by anonymous, because you never know. Why can't I think of what that book is called? Go Ask Alice. Go Ask Alice. Oh, this one says it's by Beatrice somebody. So, if you've never seen or heard of Go Ask Alice, they actually made a book out of it. It's about this girl, and she's like a good girl, and then she goes to this party, and anyway, she starts like doing drugs, and it's about like her descent into addiction. It's really a good book. They made a movie out of it and everything. But there's a ton of them here. There's Annie's Baby, It Happened to Nancy, Calling Maggie May, Jay's Journal. I think that one's about the occult. Almost Lost. I have that one in the basement. I've never read it though. Letting Anna Go. There's like a whole bunch of them. But I bought the Book of David. And the thing is, you never know what they're about. Like when you're reading them, like they're all kind of like these teaching books. Like they have books in there about like eating disorders and like, you know, teen pregnancy and things like that. So you never know, like when you get it, like what that person is going to be about. But it's always like they found the journal at the end, or it was like somebody's journal privately, right? But I think they've all been fictionalized except for the first one. So I bought this book called The Book of David. Well, I got it home because like Jay's Journal, I'm almost positive I've read. Is that the one? There was Jay's Journal there, and then there was The Book of David. And I think Jay's Journal is about, let me see, I think it's about the occult. Jay's Journal is a book presented as an autobiographical account of a depressed teenage boy who becomes involved with satanic group. Yeah, okay. So I've read that one, I think, years ago, or I started it. So I had no idea what The Book of David was about. And it says, his secret is his downfall. A riveting first-person tale in the tradition of Go Ask Alice, and Lucy in the Sky. The author of the fictional diary began writing for a class assignment, but soon it became much more to him. As a star player of his high school football team, he faces a lot of pressure and expectations. So, like, it didn't really say anything, like, on the book cover. So I sat down and I started reading it a little bit today. And, like, as soon as I got, like, 5 pages into it, I was like, I read this book. Like, I was like, and I think I read it, like, not too long ago. And, I mean, I remembered, like, instantly, like, I remembered everything about it. It was a really, really pretty good book for, like, one of these kind of, like, cheesy journals. And it's about a kid that's, like, a football player and has, like, this very masculine dad, and he ends up coming out. And it's this horrible story, like, about his family disowns him. And, but I, like, totally remembered everything about it when I read it. So I looked it up on my Goodreads. Sure enough, I had read it 2 years ago. And Another good reason for having Goodreads, you can look up books, because like if you're reading a book and you're like, did I read this before? So anyway, so I don't need that book anymore. So, and then I have Supermarket by the guy who is the rapper Logic, and it's supposed to be really good. And that's the only other book that I have like pulled out right now that I'm to read. So, I don't know, but I'm listening to Handmaid's Tale. I don't know what I expected from The Handmaid's Tale. I think the thing that's interesting is, I mean, it's very much about kind of like a dystopian society, but in the future. But the book was written, what did I say, like 1985? The fact that it was written in 1985 and it feels so current, like, it feels like when you're reading it, and I don't know how close the TV show is to the book or anything like that. Oh, I have to tell you, my friend Erin texted me. She texted me tonight while I was in the shower, actually, so it was late. And she said, oh my God, oh, she said, so I started reading Where the Crawdads Sing this morning, and it's so good. I'm 80% done with it already. And I said, oh my God, so good, loved it. Now, I'm reading Handmaid's Tale now, and it's so good too. Like, if this book was, I don't know how closely, like, it is tied, like, to the TV show, which I'm going to watch next. How many seasons does that have? Does it have, like, 4 seasons or something like that? I'm going to tell you, like, I really wanted to read that romance novel. But I think as soon as I finish reading The Handmaid's Tale, I'm going to listen to The Testaments, which is the sequel. I just think if I don't, I probably won't end up reading it. And I'm loving The Handmaid's Tale right now. I'm going to look on here and see on Hulu how many seasons it has. Come on, pull up the Hulu. Something's up. The operation couldn't be completed, it says. There it goes. Handmaid's Tale. Wait, what's this? Margaret Atwood. It's a whole thing about her writing the book. It's a documentary about Margaret Atwood. Okay, The Handmaid's Tale. There's 3 seasons. How many episodes in each season? 10? Does it, like, go back and forth? Because, like, in the book, it goes back and forth between, like, present day and the past. And it's so interesting how they do it, or how she does it. But, like, if the book came out today and was, like, in 2020, speculation about the future, like, it reads current. I don't even know how else to say it other than that, but it just reads current. It reads like a book that you would be reading right now. And it's fantastic. It is so fantastic. It's such an interesting read. Even the characters, and this is the thing about the characters, is even as flat as they are supposed to be, other than the main character. So if you don't know, like, everybody has kind of like a role, like a commander, a commander's wife, like a Martha, like, okay, so everybody has like these roles, right? And the roles are really flat roles. Like, we live in a society, and this isn't ruining it for anybody, because this is like, it just starts and goes right into it. But we live in a society where there's very strict rules about what your role is, right? So, like, there's not really a lot of personality to anybody. But in some way, she creates these, like, unbelievable characters that with, like, total depth. And, I don't know, it's just fantastic, and I'm loving it. And it's scary, too. Like, it is really, really scary. Like, I understand now what Tanya meant by, like, it might kind of freak you out a little bit to read it, like, right now with everything that's going on in the world. But it's not. Like, it really isn't. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to lay around today. I didn't really want to do a whole lot. I wanted to, like, watch TV and read books. And I had all these videos that I wanted to do, but by the time that, like, I got up and, like, had something to eat and, like, kind of pulled it together, I looked at the clock and it was, like, 5:30. And I was like, if I sit down, and this is really how I thought, I was like, if I sit down and I start working on videos now, like, by the time I get them actually up, it's gonna be 9 o'clock. And I was like, just pick one channel and do that, because I already have my vlog up. So I was like, I'm gonna do a drama video. And then tomorrow I will go back to getting videos up on all my channels again. But it was kind of weird because I've been posting videos like on every single one of my, well, the other day I guess I didn't. But I've been posting videos on all of my channels, so it kind of felt weird today to not do that. I will say it's different having Alex here, because, like, you know, like, on Sundays, we'll go to brunch, like when he's home, or Saturdays, like he'll sleep in usually, or, you know, whatever, like watch TV in bed. And then Sundays, if we go to brunch, like we'll come home, and then like while I'm making videos, he'll be like upstairs, like watching some TV show in bed, half asleep, like, or he'll fall asleep and take a nap, right? But like now, like he's like up and doing stuff. So it's kind of hard because, you know, I'll be like, okay, he'll like shout down, he'll be like, how many more videos do you have left? And and he's totally understanding of the whole thing. I mean, I should be so lucky to have somebody that, you know, I mean, he knows how much I love it. And so he's like, just do your thing, you know? He actually thinks that, he's like, I think it's so cute that you're going to the driveway and you're vlogging from your car. He's like, you could just sit in here and vlog if you want. Why do I have my, why do I have my seatbelt on? Somebody said it the other day and I didn't even realize I had done it. But anyway, I just noticed that when I looked over. He was like, you can totally vlog from inside. And I was like, I don't know, it's just, I actually like sat in the car for a little bit today. I like once I like got my coffee and stuff and I had my vlog uploaded and I like walked out here and I like went inside and I like grabbed my keys and I like turned on my audiobook and I just like sat here for a second and drank my coffee. Like I miss being like in my car and going and like just like driving around just like listening to an audiobook. Like I miss it. Nobody that I talked to today went out like anywhere. Like nobody. And I didn't talk to as many people today as I usually do, but like nobody like went out on the road at all. Like we are not going out on the road. Like people aren't leaving. Like my neighborhood, it's like, even when they're like walking down the street, like when we walked yesterday, we didn't take a walk tonight because it looked like it was gonna rain. And then it did rain a little bit, but not a lot. But even when we were walking, like people kept their distance on either side of the street and they'd be like, hi. And like, as soon as we would like start, like, so Alex and I were like, you know, walking side by side yesterday and other people were, when we would cross, like I went behind Alex. So we were like single. I know it, you know, I know it sounds probably crazy, but people were like really keeping their distance from each other yesterday, even walking outside. And, it was interesting because I got a comment and somebody said something about, well, I'll read it in a second. Somebody said something about New York. About how they're doing it in New York. Like we should, I want to read the comment really quick. Hold on. Because it went totally again. We have some very good friends of ours that live in New York. And every person that I have talked to has said that like in New York City, like nobody is like, people are still going out to the parks, they're going out on the streets, like they're doing stuff. And one of my friends, actually, she's a friend of Tanya's too, she told our other friend that like she has like, so she has like a place in Maryland and she's like going down there and it's like 4 hours away. And she's like, it's like in New York, people are going to like the park every day. It's packed. She was like, it's, you know, so I don't, like that was interesting to me when I got this comment that somebody said, because that was opposite from what I have heard, but I don't know, I could be wrong. Let's see, how do I get to my comments here? My comments. Okay. Alyssa said, I love Steve. I love Steve too. Patricia said, thank you, Peter. Your vlogs keep me coming. Okay, first of all, before I even get into this, there's one I want to read. Hold on. Oh, here it is. So Brandon said, hey, Peter, my girlfriend watches and listens to every single one of your videos. That means so much. Could you do me a huge favor and give her a shout out? Her name is, and then he has / T-Way. T-Way! Hey, T-Way! I know you read these comments. It would mean the world to her if you did. Please, and thank you so much. Well, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. T-Way! Swallows, that's what somebody said. Yes, Lisa said swallows, like the birds. And usually there's mesh to stop them from building in the attics. I wonder if there is. That was my shoe. I swear I didn't fart. Okay. But somebody said something about New York. Oh, here it is. The numbers have to drop and stay down. This was from Rosemary. The numbers have to drop and stay down before everything reopens. As far as your neighbors doing barbecue and a bunch of kids playing, the cops would shut it down here in New York. I wonder if you mean like downtown New York City, or if you mean like, what do you call it, in like upstate New York? Because that's different from what I've heard. But I don't know, maybe like the people that I'm talking to are, I don't don't know, maybe that's just their neighborhood or something. So anyway, could you comment on the video tomorrow, Rosemary, and let me know, like, if you live in, like, upstate, or if you're, like, in the city, or where, because I wonder if there's a difference, and I don't know. I have been trying to only watch the news that I need to know right now. Like, every day I go on, usually later in the day, once, like, all the press conferences have happened and stuff like that, and I go in and I kind of, like, keep up with, like, all of, like, everything I need to know for the day. And I've really been trying to limit it to that. So, I will say, like, on Facebook, I'm starting to see more and more people share, like, personal experiences that they've, you know, like, tested positive. It's scary. Diane, Mother Maria, and Lisa all gave blue hearts. Maricela said, Peter, when any of us have our comments mentioned by you, it makes our day. You really are you. Oh, thank you, sweet. I'm really not, but thank you. I appreciate that. Melody said, hi, Peter. I agree 100% about The Handmaid's Tale. It's an amazing book that makes you think. I watch every season of the show, and while it's truly an excellent show, it can get very difficult to watch, and there were a few times I had to take a few days off between episodes. There's also a Handmaid's Tale film that came out in the early 90s that featured the late Natasha Richardson as Offred. I thought there was, like, a movie. Like, I almost was positive there was a movie, so I'm glad you said that. She was great in it, but on a scale of 1 to 10, it's about a 6. It has some good moments, but I don't think the world at that time was ready for it. If you're completed, you should check it out and give your thoughts on it. Thanks for another great vlog. You're awesome. Oh, thank you so much, Melody. Elise said, oh, I love that name. It's one of my favorite names. Elise said, I seriously, if I had a daughter, like, that would be on my list. Said, I love to hear you open the can of pop. It reminds me of being on a plane. I don't like to fly, but I do love to vacation. I'm watching stand-up comedy. Miss Birdie, oh, Miss Birdie, I love her so much. I'm ready to go on vacation. Anybody else? Oh my God, I've never been so bored of my own house and just looking at the same walls. And I'm kind of past the point of even wanting to clean at this point. Like, I don't even really care. My hair feels so thick tonight. I mean, it is anyway, but I know I didn't do it for you guys. I'm sorry. I mean, my hair, that is. Melody gave me a blue heart. My Peter Brady voice breaking. Tracy, aka Honey2, said, I'm basically YouTube famous now. Finished the Tiger King series today. Craziness until the very end. Okay, so let's talk about the Tiger King for a second, shall we? So I have 1 episode left. I watched the 6th episode, most of the 6th episode during my dinner tonight, of which I had, are you guys ready for my big dinner? Drum roll, please. I had a mayonnaise and dark mustard, like jerky, not jerkies. I wanted that jerky so bad I couldn't find it, that my dad used to have when I was a kid. It's like Grey Poupon. And then, I know, gross, right? And then 3 pieces of Havarti cheese. Havarti, not Hafarti. Havarti cheese on that Dave's bread, that real thick bread. That was my dinner tonight. With a glass of water, because I'm trying to stay hydrated. And those peanut butter things. I'm obsessed with the peanut butter things. Okay. So, allegedly in my conspiracy, I'm completely convinced that Carol had something to do with her husband's disappearance. I'm just saying, and that's not because I watch too much true crime, okay? So last night when I watched whatever episode I got done watching, I don't know, episode 5 or something, I can't keep up with where I was at. I became, like, so obsessed with the people that were, like, in this show that I was, like, Wikipediaing them, and I was, like, looking them up at, like, these different things, like, trying to look up their Instagrams, like, all of the people, like, all the people that worked at the zoo, the friends, Carol, her husband. I was, like, I don't know, like, I started, like, Wikipediaing all of these people last night, and this is exactly what happens to me whenever I, like, read a true crime novel. And I become kind of obsessed with the case. I start Googling this. I start Googling, like, the town, the house that they lived in. You know, all this kind of stuff. So it was Anyway, it was interesting, to say the least. I'm kind of excited to find out what happens in the final episode. Although, I can't imagine that a whole lot more is going to happen. But I have literally, I mean, it has been a long time since I have seen something go so viral. I think it's #1 on Netflix right now. For something to go so viral that, that one husband of his, I don't know what his name is. The third husband, the last one, the one he's married to at the very end. He was at Ultra Music Festival when we were there last year. He goes to like all these music festivals and stuff. So anyway, he had like this picture of like Ultra Music Festival, and I was like, oh my God. There was another person in there. It was a woman that there was something shocking that I was going to say something about. So sad about that Travis kid. Wasn't that so sad? God. The whole show is just wacky and sad. It just really is. But I mean, you want to talk about living your fantasy. I mean, you want to talk about living in this world that you have created by yourself, for yourself, that nobody plays into but you. Like, that you really do believe you are this thing. You know what I mean? Like, have you ever known anybody like that before? I've known a few. I mean, I really, really have. That, like, they really think they're something that they're not. And it's innocent. It's like, okay, you believe it if you want, like if that's what makes you happy, but like at the same time it's kind of sad because from the outside looking in, you like know like that's not really how it is. Do you know what I mean? And so like it's kind of sad because you're kind of like, but if they want to live their fantasy is like how it feels at the time too. You know, like he really believed in living this fantasy of like, I am this world famous person. I literally had never heard of this guy until this documentary. Has anybody else? Did anybody? I would be really interested to know. Did other people like hear about this guy? I'd never heard of him before. And who is filming this documentary? That's what I want to know. Is that he hires that guy who then he like burns all the stuff, or somebody did burned all the stuff to film him all the time. Who's filming him literally all the time? Like even at the end when they're driving away, I think this was the episode that I just watched. This was episode 6. When he and what's his third husband's name? John was the first one. Oh, it's gonna stop. Hold on. Okay. John was the first one. Travis was the second one. Dylan is I think it's Dylan. Dylan, I think, is the third one. So when they're driving to this undisclosed location, like this is the kind of stuff that did you watch Don't F with Cats? If you watch Don't F with Cats, you'll know what I'm talking about. You look for every like minute detail. I'm like sitting there when they're going to this undisclosed location, and it's the guy that's doing the documentary, supposedly, that's filming him, right? But, okay, at the end, but then there's footage of like, when they were filming, before the documentary even started. Like, and I'm like, well, who was filming that information? Like, way at the beginning. And at the end, like, when they're driving, he's like next to him. Like, so I'm like, at that point, this is what I didn't understand about it, okay? At that point, you're on the run from the law, or you're on the run from like a hitman, you think, or something. Like there's always, nobody really knows why he ran at the end. Well, I mean, I think people did know, but anyway, and he's in an undisclosed location, but he's still having this person follow him to do this documentary. Like, at what point would you be like, dude, get lost? Like, we're not doing it anymore. You know what I mean? And I think he just could not say no to it. I don't know. Like, I think it's so interesting. I really, you know, like when I started it, I didn't think that I would really enjoy it that much. Like, Alex was asking me because he was like, well, Sarah watched it and she said I should watch it. What do you think? And I said, I don't really think that you would like it. He doesn't really like documentaries and stuff like that. We watched Making of the Murderer, and he liked that. But he never watched the second season, and I just don't think he would be interested in this. I did tell him to watch Don't F with Cats, though, but he was like, yeah, I don't know, maybe. He definitely likes some more, like, fictionalized stuff. But I have never... I can't think of the last thing other than that Star Wars little... the Mandalorian or whatever his name is. I don't know anything else that's gone more viral on social media. I sort of got every time I get on my Instagram or I get on my Twitter or Facebook, somebody's posted a picture of Joe Exotic. I mean, seriously. I'm sure I could do it. Where's my phone? Where'd my phone go? Did you see that panic in my eyes real quick? God forbid we would lose our cell phones. That would be the end of the world, wouldn't it? My friend keeps on posting this stuff about it on the Facebook. Here, let me pull him up. This is my friend that we went to go visit when we were in Dallas. What did he put? It was so funny earlier. Oh, he did another one. He posted that John guy who was his first husband, and he put gag. And he put, so it's just like, I can't show it to you because of my friend's name at the top of it. Well, I guess I could. Hold on a second. There, I can show it to you. No, there's my friend. Oh my God, she just texted me about the end of where the Crawdads sang. But anyway, he posted this picture. I don't know if you can see it. But it says that John guy. And then it's this Netflix thing. It says, you're a fun-loving, dangerous, exciting kind of person. You go with the flow. Because, well, why wouldn't you? You're the person who knows exactly where to go for a good late-night meal after a party. Okay. Then he put something else on here. Where is it? He's posting like nonstop. Where was the thing that he posted? Oh my God, he posts so much. Oh, here it is. It's this TikTok, and it says, when you're a gay zookeeper broke as shit, and your number one enemy is the bitch in Florida. It's this TikTok about it. And then he put on here, I can't read that one. That one's bad. But it's a picture of him with Travis and Joe. It's like a still from the documentary that they posted. Oh my God, my friends are so funny. I need to get off the Facebook. I have like been getting on the Facebook lately. And I don't even know why. Okay, let's go back and read a couple more comments. Katie gave me blue hearts. Jay said, today was supposed to be the first day I started eating healthier and working out more. Well, I started watching Tiger King, which led me to eating a mountain of ice cream. I'm so dying for ice cream. Oh my God, today, somebody posted a picture. I don't know who it was, but it was like peanut butter and chocolate and vanilla ice cream mixed together. It was like chocolate. And it was like chocolate and vanilla ice cream, and then they had taken like a scoop of peanut butter and put it in there, and it looked so good. And I was like, oh my God. And I honestly, every time that I went to the grocery store, I thought about getting ice cream, and I was like, you're gonna want ice cream, you're gonna want ice cream. It wouldn't even fit into our freezer right now with all the Morningstar crap and frozen pizzas and burritos that we have in there. But I didn't get any ice cream, so enjoy it, Jay. Okay, Lisa was the one that said that about the birds and the mesh. Okay. Okay, I started reading somebody's comment, and their name looked like a friend of mine, and I said my friend's like first and last name on here, and so I think they'd probably rather stay anonymous. So I had to stop the video. Oh, Hunter said, okay, Peter told me to post a video. I guess I have to now. You better. If you do, put it in the comment section below, and I'll link it for you. Glam with Ann said, hello Peter and everyone enjoying Peter's nightly vlogs. I'm sure I speak for all of us Peter, when I say we love you very much for continuing to vlog every night during this madness. By the way, the video of the dogs last year was so sweet. EXO. Oh, thank you so much. You guys, this is really getting me through it too. Like, I am bored senseless. And I only bought 3 puzzles of 1,000 pieces each. And I don't want to start them. I don't want to clean anything. I just really... I think it doesn't help too. It's like, you know, I'm usually very structured, like do this video, do that video, and then I have like emails I have to answer about other things that I do, you know? And so like, other than doing videos, I have like 2 to 3 hours of other stuff that I have to do. And so like, I'm very, like, even though it doesn't seem that way, I'm very structured, right? Throughout the day. I just don't get up on time, and I like have different hours than other people, right? So when I'm like seeing on Twitter and Facebook and like everybody on Instagram saying like, oh, I'm just like laying around for the 7th day in a row, it like makes me just want to lay around and do nothing, right? When in reality, I like need to stay productive. And I think it's good for my mind too, to stay productive, you know, and keep on like doing stuff. Like, don't you think? Like, I think that's why it's important that, like, we stay active and we're walking, or, you know, just even, like, I don't know, doing some yoga in your apartment. There's free videos on YouTube and stuff, you know, or whatever. I think it's important for all of us to do that. And I'm not like, listen, I mean, I need to get my butt out here and be walking more too. You know, I could walk for an hour every night. And I think that I've decided that as long as it's not raining and it's not freezing cold, that I will be doing that, because I feel much better once I've done that. But I think to keep my mind and my body physical and but like my mind continuing to like push and read books and listen to books and whatever. But like, it's so hard because I feel like every person that I see, especially I would say, and this is like, especially like the big YouTubers and like the majority of like the big YouTubers that I see and that I watch like on a regular basis, and like big celebrities and stuff, like nobody's really doing anything. They're like just like complaining about just like sitting there being bored, which I am too, right? So that just fuels the boredom instead of me actually like getting and going and doing some other stuff. So I don't know, it's hard these days to get motivated. Are any of you guys out there feeling that way? Like it's hard to get motivated? Dane said, you care so genuinely about your fans, Peter, and it makes being shouted out by you. Oh, thank you so much. Love you, she said. And then she said, oh my God, I want those peanut butter pretzel bites. They are delicious. Dane, I'm gonna send one and only one your way. No, I'm joking. I'm not giving any of them up. Oh my God, okay. Alexandria said, hello, hello, hello. Ready to listen to you on your way to get a fountain pop. Let's see. Hope said, nurse here and just got home from my shift. Contaminated and relaxing with you now, blue hearts. Aw, thank you for your service, Hope. I really appreciate it. Y'all out there on the front lines, whether you're working in grocery stores or hospitals, and I know hospitals is even 100 times more dangerous, but to all of you out there right now, thank you for the, you know, if you're working in restaurants that are still open and whatever you're doing out there, thank you so much for your service. Seriously. It's easy to complain when you're at home about how bored you are when you don't have to go into a really scary situation. And I have several friends of mine that are doctors and nurses, and they were posting about like the new protocol for what they had to wear, that they were wearing like 2 masks instead of 1 and things like that. So scary times. Okay, Megan said, I'm behind, Peter. I'm sorry, but 2 vlogs in one night. My mouth was full of sandwich when I heard my name from the comments. When you were eating lemon muffins, I said to myself, did he buy them at the Meijer? So I have 2 different kinds in there. I know. The lemon poppy seed ones, I think I bought at Costco, and just the lemon muffins, I bought at Meijer. And they're big. They really have good lemon poppy seed muffins, and it would be so fun to have backyard conversations with you. I'm sure everyone would agree wholeheartedly. Aw. Thank you. Pam gave blue hearts. Kimberly said, I watched the Madam CJ Walker series on Netflix. Peter, check it out. Very good. Also, the Sam Cooke twin murders on Netflix was great also. I'll check those out. I actually just watched the trailer for the Madam CJ Walker thing. So I don't know. Is she from Indianapolis? I think she's from Indianapolis because literally there are so many things here in Indianapolis that are like the Madam CJ Walker Theater, the Madam CJ Walker Home, the Madam CJ Walker this. And when I was getting my master's degree, my first ever practicum that I ever did was as a school social worker, and I worked with like a unit. There was like 6 of us, and I was in this inner city school that was like part of what they called the Front Porch Alliance. And the Front Porch Alliance used, there was like the Black History Museum, there was like Christmas Attics, which used to be a high school that turned into a middle school, and then the Madam CJ Walker Community Center, I think is what it was at the time, and then theater. And so we used to, all of us, like coordinate and do a lot of stuff together. And it was really, really interesting. And those were like hardcore, like social work, like what you imagine like a social worker to be, like social worker and like community service person, like on, you know, out there like going door to door and stuff like that. So that was like a really interesting time. But I actually like went into the theater, went into the home, and we did tours of all of that back then. So is she from Indianapolis? I should look it up right now. Madam CJ Walker. This is from Delta, Louisiana. Well, what's the deal with it being the Indianapolis thing then, I wonder? She is recorded as the first female self-made millionaire in America in the Guinness Book of World Records. And it was for her, supposedly, I think for her hair care and beauty products. Walker's personal papers are preserved at the Indiana Historical Society in Indianapolis. Her legacy also continues through 2 properties listed on the National Register of Historic Places: Villa Lawara in Irvington, New York, and the Madam Walker Theater Center in Indianapolis. So what's the tie to Indianapolis? I honestly don't remember. Let's put Madam CJ Walker, Indianapolis. Madam Walker Legacy Center. Huh. Oh, here it says the Madam CJ Walker building, which houses the Madam Walker Legacy Center, was built in 1927 in the city of Indianapolis, Indiana, in the United States, a U.S. state of Indiana, and is its Madam CJ Walker Building Manufacturing Company. It was designated a National Historic Landmark in 1991. So it's very cool inside. So I'm wondering if what is this? This is in Indianapolis too. I'm wondering if that was where her factory was. Why is this apartment building famous? I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna watch it. It looks really, really good. Okay. Hunter commented again, and he said, thanks for these vlogs, Peter. Since I'm not able to spend time with my friends currently, this is a good substitute. Feels like I'm hanging out with someone. Aww. Lisa said, Tiger Town was crazy town. Now I want a second season. I need answers. Well, that's what I was wondering. Like, all of these shows now are kind of like these, like, you know, documentaries are kind of leaving things, like, open-ended. So I'm wondering, like, is there going to be a second season, you know? Sheena said, try using one of your Starbucks cups for your fountain pops in your driveway. Makes it feel like more of a fountain pop when there is a straw. I've been having one in my fuse. You know, okay, so I thought about that. But, like, I really like drinking a Diet Coke just in a plastic tumbler. I don't know what it is about. I don't know if it reminds me of summer. My uncle did it. My mom did it, too, for a long time. But she did Tab. Do you guys remember Tab? And I remember my mom would also keep... I don't think it was plastic cups. I think it was, like, glass mugs. Like, clear glass. Not, like, you know, coffee mugs, but, like, clear glass mugs for, like, beer steins and stuff like that. Or beer. But she would keep it in the freezer, and like they would get frosty, and then we would drink root beer out of them. We would make root beer, what do you call them? Root beer, what are those called? Why can't I think of anything right now? Not root beer sundae, root beer floats, root beer floats. Megan said starts watching podcast. Is this a podcast? Oh my God. 1, starts watching podcast. 2, Peter talks about eating a sandwich for dinner. 3, pauses podcast, goes and makes a sandwich with lots of mayo and yellow mustard. It's so good though. Quick question, how do you feel about people that tag you in our IG posts? I like to take you on a lot more posts of mine, but I don't want, it doesn't bother me whatsoever. I don't really care at all. People tag me and stuff on Instagram all the time. I really don't care. Please do. Okay. Erica J. Her name is spelled really, like, different, so I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Love the Schwann's delivery. Those little pizzas and creamsicles were awesome. As far as going outside, you're not alone. I'm not going anywhere. My neighborhood mailboxes are right at the corner, and I drove to get my mail and came right back. I wiped all the mail with Lysol wipes. Beginning of last week, I got cash to pay delivery drivers so I could patronize the oh, that's a good idea. To patronize the local restaurants, but I don't trust that either. And she goes on and on. Well, I will say this: read the World Health Organization and the CDC on what they say about mail, because I did. But stay safe. I know it's freaky, you know, and it's like. And then you just start wondering about, like, everything in your mind reels, and I think it's just hard, you know? That's why I am limiting it to the news and to those 2 organizations to find out my news. I mean, other than, like, the local news and stuff like that, you know? Stephanie said, I got sucked into Tiger King, and this is just my opinion, but I think Carol got rid of her husband. You need to join our true crime book club if you're not already part of it. Okay, Deirdre said, I just had the Schwann man at my house. Deirdre! Don't say such things like that in my comment section that you just did him. You had him and you did it. Oh, you mean you just had, that he was just over there. Okay, I get it. Been using them for over 12 years. Stay safe. I'm totally joking with you, Deirdre. Girl Friday said, I'm so grateful for my kids today. They make me laugh so much and I appreciate the time I get to spend with them. Aww. I'm kind of skimming some of these, you guys, because there's tons of comments and I really appreciate it. But, Mama Oz said, LOL, Peter, I changed my picture on here so you know I don't really eat cats. Family friendly. She said something else. Oh my God, did you have the Winnie the Pooh little book library? Oh, I just love them. Obsessed with the tiny books. I think I had like the Eeyore one. Was there like one just about Eeyore? I feel like I did. Oh wait, this is an Audrey Hepburn. This is Mama Oz again. I'm an introvert. I love being by myself, love being outdoors, love taking a long walk with my dogs and looking at the trees, flowers, the sky. Audrey Hepburn. I've never heard that quote before. Hey Peter, can you shout out my Cavalier Spaniel, Chloe? She's been keeping me sane and laughing through lockdown. Love all your channels. Hang in there. No, I can't. Chloe! Hey Chloe! Chloe. That's so sweet. I don't think I've ever had anybody ask me to shout out their dog before in a video. Lisa said, keep well. Mr. Rabbit. Oh, Lord. Hi, everyone, he said. Well, now I definitely have to watch this Tiger King show. You do. Okay, so Girl Friday talked about the fake owl. Like, so I read this a lot too, that like if you have like birds that are like nesting, you can put up a fake owl and they won't come anywhere near that. Unfortunately, like, I mean, it's like right by our front door, so like when you walk by people or drive by, people see it. I don't know that I want this big fake owl just like sitting on my front door, you know? My husband just texted me that he is finally going to sleep. He's probably been on TikTok the whole time. Oh, he said, I opened the window because it's nice outside and it's letting the air in. Night, babe, he said. All right, babe. I love the feel of the air coming across the, you know, like the bed at night in early spring. And it reminds me so much of my mom, because when I was a kid, I've talked about this on here before, but like she did not love to use like air conditioning until like the hot summer. So until it got hot enough that like we had to use the air conditioning, my mother would open the windows every night. Like all the windows in the upstairs, none of them on the downstairs. She would have been too afraid for that. But all of them on the upstairs. And it would like flow across, you know, and my bedroom window looked out over the woods with the creek. So I could hear, like, you know, like if it was like windy outside, I could hear the trees. Like, I mean, we had tall trees that were like taller than our house, and like much taller than our house. And I could hear the trees bending and creaking in the wind. And I could hear like the water in the creek running and stuff like that. It was just such a wonderful place to like grow up in. And, but I remember loving having the windows open. I can remember sometimes I would go, because we had like these screens, you know, in our windows. And I like in the dark, like, because our house would be so dark and like the woods are so dark, you know. And I would sometimes like, if the moon was shining, it would shine like through the woods and you could just see like a little light, you know. And I would go and I would press my nose up against the screen, that funny smell that screen has, you know. And I would go press my nose up against the screen and I would just like stand there and I would look into the woods for the longest time. And you could hear like animals and stuff down there. I loved having the windows open. And it always like just really cleared out the house too, you know. And when, like even in the summer, my mom would turn the air on. Like this goes against everything you're supposed to do, right? Because it's like you have to like re-air condition in the whole house. But during the day, my mom would turn the air conditioning on. Like as soon as she got up in the morning, she would turn the air on. But like at night, like 8 o'clock at night, when it started getting cool, unless it was like July, like late June, July, and August, when it was like hot, like 70s in the evenings. But like May and June, she would like open the windows in the evening, so we would get like cool air coming through the house, like that cool fresh air coming through the house. And then always in the fall, she really believed in like, you know, fresh air coming through the house. So nice. I was talking to Tanya today and she was like, how long do you really think this will go on? And I said, I have no idea, Tanya. I said, I think we're just kind of in it for the long haul. I said, I'm grateful that I have a house. I'm grateful that I have, you know, you to be able to talk to on the phone still, and that I have, you know, with Alex, and we have food, and the dogs are safe, and everything's, I mean, you know, right now, we're not like in dire straits necessarily, you know. And I think most importantly, we have our health right now, which I'm super grateful for. Every day that I wake up, I kind of go through this thing where I'm like, okay, how do I feel today? Is anybody else doing that? Like every day that you wake up, you're kind of like, how do I feel today? But, you know, I feel really grateful. I feel very blessed right now. And I think the hardest thing is, like, walking outside, even just, like, looking outside right now. Like, the world looks so, like, normal. Like, the world just looks normal on the outside, right? I mean, if you didn't look at the news and you didn't have social media and you didn't have newspapers, you wouldn't know that anything was going on. Just looks like the world is going on as usual. And I think that's the hardest thing with all of this, you know? I don't know. Where's my lip gloss? Or my lip balm? Today in Indianapolis, this was kind of a big deal, actually. They moved the Indy 500 to August, I think it's August 23rd now. So, the Indy 500 is a major racing event. And like all kinds of European like race car drivers and stuff come over here, and they do their trials and whatever for the whole month of May. So they all get over here like the second, third week of April. And race day weekend is Memorial Day weekend, so it's the last weekend in May. And they moved it to August 23rd. Which Alex is like, there's a snake pit thing that he goes to every year where they have like some big DJ, and this year it was Martin Garrix and somebody else that canceled that too. But I think like the reason they're canceling that is because they have to have the month ahead of time for everybody to come over here and run their trials. Not to mention, you're talking about race car drivers from all around the world, right? So, like, those things can't happen. So it totally makes sense to me that they canceled it. But I think we're going to see more and more of that. You know, we're supposed to go to Las Vegas in May, in the middle of May, for EDC. Well, we're going because Alex is going to go to EDC, and I was just going to lay out by the pool and go gamble and stuff like that. I can't believe they have not canceled this event yet. I really cannot believe they have not canceled it yet. And Alex is like, no, they're going to try to still have it and whatever. I'm like, well, I'm not comfortable with that. Like, I mean, we're talking like, that's like 6 weeks away. And people are coming from all over the world for it. And I can't believe they haven't canceled it. I mean, somebody sent me or tagged me some pictures of Las Vegas. I couldn't see the whole thing because it was on Facebook, but they like tagged me the link and I could just see the pictures, but I couldn't go in and see more of that. And there was like more pictures. Like Las Vegas is like ghost town right now. It's dead. Like nobody's walking around. Oh, it's gonna stop. Hold on. Okay. Like nobody's walking around. Nobody's on the streets. Nothing's going on. Like it's ghost town, right? From these pictures that I saw, if they're correct. And so I'm like, why are you going to continue to have this thing? Like, why are you even suggesting that you're going to continue to have this thing or that you're going to try to have it? Like, I don't know. It just seems so bizarre to me. It's like, why not just cancel it? And the thing is now, as disappointed as people are going to be, like the reality is, if you were to cancel something like that now, like people would have the ability to get their money back in time and they wouldn't be that upset with the organization versus down the road, or if they were able to like use their tickets for a later event, or if you were going to reschedule for later in the year, people could start planning that stuff now or whatever. But like the thing is the indefinite of nobody knows really what's going to happen, you know? So I think that's part of it, but it's like, I don't know, I'm just kind of surprised they haven't canceled it yet. But I just looked earlier today and they still hadn't canceled it. So it starts May 15th. Such a weird world that we live in right now. And Tanya and I were talking, she's like, we were talking just about like being focused in gratitude and things like that, you know, and trying to just to stay on that. I am so thankful for my sobriety. You know, I was talking to my sponsor about like newcomers right now, people that are in early sobriety. And I said, I cannot even imagine if I was in my first 30 days to a year. She goes, can you imagine being out there and still drinking? She goes, I wouldn't have a chance. I really wouldn't. I mean, like, I just would, I think, I just think my mind would just be like, I just want to drink, I just want to drink, I just want to drink, you know, like. But I will say this, there are tons and tons and tons of people staying sober. I want to say this, a couple of you put in the comment section below that you're going to meetings on Zoom and things like that. Okay, so the reason that I haven't linked those resources, just so you know, is that it's a violation of traditions, because it's one of the traditions of 12-step program to, the internet applies to that. That's why I haven't linked those resources. But I do want to say this again, okay, since I'm talking about this, that I'm so concerned about the still suffering alcoholic and addict that is out there. And just because this is going on does not mean that this is not a time that you can't get sober, okay? People get sober all the time. And the craziest of terms of, you know, situations. So anybody can get sober at any time. You can get sober tomorrow if you want to do it, right? And there are a lot of really great online resources right now. And like I said, if you're looking for online resources and you can't find them, then you need to call either like a local treatment facility, local hospital, and ask them for it, or call a local 12-step program. Like, you just type in your city, like, you know, Athens, Georgia. I don't know why I came up with that. I was thinking of REM. But anyway, like Athens, Georgia, Alcoholics Anonymous, or Athens, Georgia, Narcotics Anonymous, or Athens, Georgia, you know, Overeaters Anonymous, or Athens, Georgia, Cocaine Anonymous, or Heroin Anonymous. And then it'll come up and it'll give you a phone number that you can call. And it's like, it'll be like a service number. And you call there and you can say, I'm really needing some help, okay? And I know that you can, and they'll help you. They'll take the call and they'll kind of run with it and ask you some questions. And you can just say, like, I'm wanting to get sober, like, I need help. And unfortunately, right now, because most meetings are not meeting, they will give you online resources. But there are tons. I mean, literally, if there were, let's say, I don't even want to guess how many meetings in Indianapolis there were before. There's probably triple the number now, because people are starting meetings all the time. There's constant online meetings. So you could literally just sit on your computer 24 hours a day and be in a meeting. I know people that are going to like 10 meetings a day right now. So there are fantastic resources out there for you. You know, get the basic text of any 12-step program out there, whether it's Narcotics Anonymous has a basic text, Alcoholics Anonymous has a basic text, Cocaine Anonymous has a basic text. I don't know about Heroin Anonymous. Overeaters Anonymous has a basic text. Several of those borrow the first 164 pages of Alcoholics Anonymous, but read the basic text from those programs and their basic literature. And these are things that you can do from home, and you don't ever have to leave home. You don't have to continue to use. You can get sober during this time. And I know it's scary and it's frustrating, but I know that there's probably somebody out there, and, you know, I think as alcoholics and addicts, we tend to put things off anyway. Like, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. And this is like, you know, like I said, it'd be like real easy in my head, you know, to like perfect like breeding ground for that negativity. But you don't have to do that. You can get sober right now. Like, people are doing it. And it's really inspiring, because I'm like in this like private group, and there's like people on there that are posting, and they're like, I'm 5 days sober today. And I'm like, oh my God, you're 5 days sober in the middle of all of this. That is truly a miracle. Like, that is so cool, you know? And then it's our job, the old timers, you know, that have been around in these programs, to walk you through this stuff, you know, during these times. So, okay, I started saying something, but it's really not mine to say, so I'm not gonna say it. But yeah, like, reach out for help right now, you know, like, really reach out and get some help if you need to. There's all kinds of help out there, you know, and you don't have to be alone in this situation. And I think the one thing that's really cool about like the online meetings and stuff is that you see other people that are going, like, you're actually getting to talk to other human beings that are going through the same thing that you're going through right now, and the same emotions and feelings. Just, you know. So, yeah, try it. What was I gonna do? Was I reading comments? I think I'm gonna read a couple more comments and then maybe cut this a little short tonight. I really don't, to be honest with you guys, I really don't have a whole lot to talk about tonight. I know, I'm sorry. I'm trying to make these as long as possible because I know that people are really enjoying them. And it's really good for me too. There's like stuff I wanted to talk about tonight. Now I can't remember what it was. Do you know the stuff that I always think about wanting to talk about on here is always like the silliest stuff? Like me, I mean, it's not silly, but like, it's not like super exciting stuff. Like I was thinking about, like when I was sitting on the front porch last night, drinking my tea, I was thinking to myself, like, I want to make sure that I share this, you know, because I think it's small moments like that that are really going to get us through all of this. I just got a whiff of that Jo Malone cologne. It smells so good. It smells so like clean. I don't know how to explain it, but I think it's a British cologne, and it smells like very like kind of like classic clean. But I think it's those small moments right now that are going to get most of us through this. And I know they're the moments that are getting me through it. Like that 5 minutes that I probably sat outside and drank my tea. I didn't even finish my whole tea. I ended up like pitching half of it into the we have like a little rabbit over here. Oh, it's so sweet. So we have a little rabbit. And I think that like he must be on his own now or something, because he comes over here and like they have like bushes over here in front of their house, and then we have like just like small like little like, they're not even, it's not weeds and it's not, I don't know what it is, but he comes over here and like sometimes he won't see me sitting out there, and so he'll come around and he'll start nibbling on stuff, and then as soon as I get up to what, he like stops and then he like darts around the corner. He's so cute. But he's not like a little baby, he's like bigger than it, but he's like almost like a normal sized rabbit. And he must live right around here somewhere, because I see him around here all the time. But anyway, it's just like small little things like that, you know, that like really are making me just appreciate my life right now and appreciate each small moment to be thankful for, you know. And I think like I had this moment today where I was like, yes, we need to all get back to work. Oh my God, the battery is dying. Yes, we need to all get back to work. And, you know, yes, I understand that, like, this is really hard. It is. This is scary and hard for all of us, right? But it's like we always sort of have this attitude, I think, of, like, hurrying life and hurrying life and hurrying life. And to some degree, because I have really nowhere to go, it has forced me to sit and really just be present in the small moments of my life right now, and I am forever thankful for that, you know, in ways that I wasn't before, because I was always like running out here to get in my car and go somewhere, you know, do this or do that and whatever. And now like I'm like, oh well, I've got an hour, or what should I do? You know, like, well, I guess I'll sit and just kind of have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea and just sit outside and wave to my neighbors. And there's kind of a serenity in that, you know, right now for me, especially because like I can't do anything else. So yes, I wish the situation was different, but it's not, and I can't do anything else about it. So it is what it is. And, you know, I'm just trying to make the best of it right now. So, all right, I'm going to end it here because my other battery is inside charging, and I really just don't feel like going inside and getting it coming back out. So I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible because I'm afraid that my battery is going to die. Anyway, I hope you guys are staying safe, and I hope you're staying healthy. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, please put a blue heart in the comment section below. Make sure that you're still subscribed to my channel, and please give this video a big thumbs up. I would appreciate it. That should be my thumbnail. Anyway, that's like my review channel, right? And yeah, and what is tomorrow? Tomorrow is, oh my God, I can't believe it's Friday already. Thank God it's Friday. And I hope you guys are having an amazing Friday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, don't have other plans. Make the most of your day. Have an amazing Friday. Do something fun today. Start a new TV show. Recommend it in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of the Tiger King if you're watching it. And let me know what you think of Don't F With Cats if you've watched it. Because nobody's talking about that anymore. And do something that will make yourself proud when you look back on it tomorrow, or a year from now, or 60 years from now, or 6 weeks from now. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day and you say to yourself, daily positive affirmations, whatever they are. I love you. You are valuable. You are important. You matter. You are worthy. You are worthy of good things. You are a good person. Good things are coming your way. Today is going to be an amazing day full of opportunity, hope, joy. You're going to stay happy, joyous, and free all day today. And believe it or not, 2020 is going to turn around, and it's going to be an amazing year. It really is. It's going to turn around. And let's stay focused on gratitude today. And most importantly, reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. Just call them up, text them, say, hey, I was thinking about you today, and I just wanted you to know that I miss you and I love you and thank you for being in my life. Somebody just random, maybe even. Or somebody that you see every day, like maybe even just your husband or wife. We need to hear it too, right? Like spouses, we don't tell each other enough, those kinds of things. And don't forget to practice random acts of kindness. This is gonna stop any minute. I'm like scared it's just gonna stop. Practice random acts of kindness, but like what do I always say? Don't tell anyone. And I think that's it. I can't believe I made it all the way through it without the battery dying. Anyway, I love you guys, and I hope you're having an amazing Friday. And I will be back tomorrow with more fountain pops from the driveway. I love you, and I will see you then. Bye. Love ya.